Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Normal here, and in this video we're going to do a detailed camera review of the new Poco M3. So Poco M3 comes with a triple camera setup, and you have a 48 megapixel camera, and then you also get a macro sensor and a depth sensor. Now one of the things which is missing on the Poco M3 is the ultra wide angle lens. That's missing. Now you also get an 8 megapixel selfie camera. So in this video we'll take a look at how good the camera is for the price segment and what all features it offers and how good the clarity is in terms of video recording, low light, portrait, macros. So we'll be analyzing all the aspect about the Poco M3's camera. So before going into the detailed camera review, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin the camera review of the new Poco M3. In terms of camera hardware, the Poco M3 comes with a 48 megapixel primary sensor with f1.79 aperture, 6p lens and autofocus. There is a 2 megapixel macro sensor with f2.4 aperture and a third 2 megapixel depth sensor. There is also LED flash included. Now the front camera is an 8 megapixel shooter with f2.05 aperture, and let's now have a look at the camera samples and see how it performs in this price segment. So let's first have a look at the video recording. In terms of video recording, the phone can do 1080p videos at a max of 30 fps. The video quality looks quite good. There is adequate sharpness levels and colors are also decent for the price segment. Even though the clarity looks good, the lack of stabilization is a deal breaker for many. We are not sure if Poco will add an EIS to the camera. You can also record videos in 720p resolution. Moving on to the daylight shot, the 48 megapixel camera does a decent job in bringing good details. The daylight captures have come quite well with decent colors and sharpness levels. The dynamic range is also quite good, but at times it messes up with the contrast, and few images in the bright sunlight seems to have messed up with the contrast. As usual with any Poco phone, the images tends to be slightly on the warmer side. When you pixel peep, you can see decent sharpness levels, and we would say it is acceptable for the price segment. Moving on, the phone can also do some good looking close-up shots, and here the color reproduction also seems more or less accurate and it does not oversaturate. The sharpness levels are also quite good. The phone comes with a 2 megapixel macro sensor, and it produces decent looking macros with good colors, adequate sharpness for the price segment. But yes, there is a bit of noise in the macros which is evident. The portraits have come great, and there is good edge detection as well, and the skin tones are also good. Here again, there is a tendency for warmer tones, but nevertheless they have come really good. Now moving on to the low light images. Here the phone does decent looking images in indoor well lit conditions under the artificial light. But when light drops further, you can clearly see the noise increasing drastically, which is quite common for this price segment. This is where you need to switch to night mode, which brings in better details, although the noise levels aren't great. And the sharpness levels definitely improves with the night mode. Overall, considering the price segment, we feel it's a decent experience in the night mode. Moving on to the selfies. Here the quality was just okay, as the color reproduction was not that great, and turning on the beauty mode makes the images look a bit too artificial. So it is better to turn it off. The skin tones are quite okay and dynamic range is decent, but color reproduction could have been better. The edge detection in portrait selfies are also decent, although it does miss on few edges. So this is the video recording taken using the front camera on the Poco M3, which can record videos in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the video. So summing up, how good is a Poco M3 in terms of camera? With a 48 megapixel camera, the Poco M3 does a decent job in bringing a usable camera at this price segment. The details are good, and the daylight images have adequate details for the price segment. Low light isn't a strength of this camera, which is quite predictable. One area where it misses out is the lack of ultra wide angle lens, which is quite common these days in this price segment. Overall, we feel Poco has done a decent job with the camera, but there is definitely room for improvement. So what do you guys think about the camera on the Poco M3? Do share in your thoughts in the comment section. This is Nirmal signing off with a detailed camera review of the Poco M3. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.